My name is Américo Garcia. I'm a lawyer and also a businessman. I have cars, houses, assets. I can travel to any place in the world as I always do. My marriage is blessed, but I'm convicted that nothing of this, nothing is compared to have the Holy Spirit. I had many complexes, inferiority complexes, details that I could not overcome from my childhood, traumas, anguish, financial problem at that time, checks that I couldn't fulfill, credit card that I was not able to pay, and even though I was working the treasury of a bank, I didn't have money. There was not enough. Every time all the money I get was going for the debts. I was already graduated in publish and advertisement. Even though with this graduation, people working for me, I did not see future for my life. I did not know where I could get. That's when in that time I met Aline, and I always would be the one attending her at the till in the bank. So we had a friendship, and one day I told her like this: Today I'm very tired. Today I'm almost giving up on everything. I don't know what to do with my life.
When I met Américo at that bank, he told me some of the situations he was facing. And I was already going to the Universal Church, and I knew that I could help him somehow. So I made the invitation that he could go with me and he could start doing what I was doing.
Arriving there, that's when I noticed that it was the Universal Church. At first, it was a shock because I did not have at that time any friends that would come to the church. But coming from Aline, so I gave credit for it because she was a very serious person, intelligent, hard worker. So if she comes here, so something must be different here. So it was a time of the campaign of Israel, and I could see the people really engaged to this campaign of faith. So I said, I want to have this faith also. What do I need to do? I even asked Aline, what do I need to do to have this? How can you? I see this strength that you have, and I don't have this strength. I want it.
Testimonies in general has a lot of things, many stories of lives, but what took my attention the most to make me not just to participate of the campaign of Israel, to me was the transformation of life, because I was a person that I was not worried about my financial life, about material things. It was nice to see the people talking about it, but my problem was inside. So I saw people that had a transformation.
I watched a testimony at that time of the campaign, and that man, he was speaking a different way. He was speaking about the things that he conquered, the achievement. He has many assets, many houses. I confess that at that time I did not focus at the end. He was always saying everything, but I only have this because I have the Holy Spirit. But because at that time I had so many problems and I was new, I was not attending these details. So I was looking to the financial because I was in debt. I wanted to solve the problem of my debt. But I did not know that I could solve everything if I was already baptized with the Holy Spirit, if the Holy Spirit was my focus. I had results from that vow that I made on the campaign, but the hole was still inside because I didn't give the right attention about the Holy Spirit and the spiritual part. Even Aline, she called my attention. So the penny dropped, and in the next campaign, I put all my strength to receive the Holy Spirit. That was the main focus. What I heard, how much important we should have the Holy Spirit. So it was the best thing happening in my life. But I also need to put all my strength. It didn't come overnight. I had to sacrifice many things, desires, my ego. That's when I noticed that I was overwhelmed by a strength. And at that hour, my chest, not feelings, not emotions, not goosebumps, but inside of me, I perceive a strength different. And there, the Holy Spirit said, now, now you can continue because I am with you.
Você pode ir em frente que eu sou contigo.
Transformation that I received in my life because of that was inside. Outside, it's what people can see, but really give value. It's only me because it's inside of me.
It's interesting because I start to have new directions, visions that never had. It's an example to become a businessman. I didn't have that will. I was afraid, so I lost that fear and I start to seek new horizons, new profession. Today, I am graduated as a lawyer and I invested in my career, but there was a direction from God.
The fact that I received the Holy Spirit did not solve all of my problems, but did not bother me to have the problems because I could solve all of them. Many times I faced problems and I had no idea how to solve. But the Holy Spirit would give me orientation and I would go and do exactly the way that I had to do, and everything worked just fine. Even greater things.
And from each campaign, something new happened in my life. It was very interesting because the more I changed, the more I did for God, the more I threw myself in the sacrifice, more God surprised me. So I got married with Aline, something I never imagined that I would get married one day. We bought a nice apartment that we live today. We started with a small office in the beginning. Today we have 2 floors of our offices and we give job to other people. Every campaign I see many results, bigger and bigger. Today we have a quality life, a lot of abundance transformed, not because I've learned inside of the school and the universities. It's very important this, but I know that even with the graduation, without the Holy Spirit, I would not be here. I would be a failure. I would be desperate in this pandemic without knowing what to do. With many offices are closing. The system is still working, but because of the pandemic, everything is slowly. So many lawyers they are desperate at this moment, but we are at peace.
The campaign of Israel, the word that was always in my mind related to this is opportunity. It's opportunity of life changing.
Today I can say that I have many things that the money cannot buy. Only to say that I have peace, I sleep at night, this is priceless. A wonderful wife. Inside of my house, I have peace. I have pleasure to be at home. And she works with me. We work together. We live together. We spend most of the day together. When we are far from each other, we want to be together because we have pleasure to be with each other. Nowadays, for me to prepare myself for the campaign, I'm much more fearful and reverent than before. So I understood that it's not about financially. Today I have no problem financially. If I want today, I did not need to sacrifice, let's say like that. But I know that I need to do the campaign. Why? Because it's me acknowledge God in first in my life, acknowledge that everything that I have comes from Him. And I am sure that He will supply my necessities, my needs. So the campaign, before it started, when it's coming, I already start to prepare myself, fasting, prayer, and be attentive to what God gonna ask me, because it's easy you to go and take a money or a house or a car and put on the altar and sacrifice. But is that what God asked? Is that what God was asking from me? So I understand that. And I take care, and this fear is inside of me. I need to please God. I need to do it right. Because if I don't do it right, it's not going to bring result.